think this is a sort of light bulb moment within a lot of it, because I think we have this idea that suicide happens with people who are obviously struggling, people who've got mental illness, you know, these other people who aren't really in employment, and but actually we know that um, of the people who take their own life, only about 22% of those are known to the NHS in any way. So on paper, the vast majority of people who take their own life are okay. They're
Mm,
fine.
mm,
So you see people sort of take a double take on that one a little bit, but
mm,
that goes against them. So if you like, they're in work one day, college, school, or whatever, or not, and not the next. And that sort of brings into focus that it isn't somewhere outside of our workplace. People who die by suicide are inside our workplace. And that often when people's psychological well-being is deteriorating, the workplace and the fact that it's quite immediate and we know how to do it and whatever, people resonate towards that. That is
mm,
somewhere where it keeps their head straight. But we are uniquely placed as other colleagues to sometimes spot the subtle changes in that person that show that they may be deteriorating or they're not okay. People will fight tooth and nail to keep some of these things away from family members, but actually when we have certain tasks that we have to perform in the workplace or certain quiet moments, that might be the time when we're more able to share it with
mm,
somebody else. And then often when people tell me about, and I've supported people in the workplace, they're going to tell somebody in the workplace before they tell somebody at home. There's a lot of
mm,
guilt and shame about these thoughts. It's incredibly difficult to start a conversation around suicidal thoughts, you know, over the dinner table. But actually, sometimes the workplace offers those relationships and those quiet moments. And sometimes those moments of, of turmoil when somebody is able to share those thoughts.
mm.
So I think it's easy to think that suicidal thoughts are outside the workplace, but they're not, they're inside. And tragically, we know that for, a lot of organizations, it comes right to the fore when they
Mm,
have to support other people when somebody's taking their own life. So the courses that we do, think about that whole spectrum of prevention, intervention, and even starting to think about postvention. What would the organisation do if somebody who was connected to the organisation or employed by the organisation died by suicide? And that's not a thought that we want to think about, but like a lot of things that we plan for and think about, terrorism and fire, all the things. Forewarned is forearmed, you know, and that as an organisation, if we've considered these things, we will be much better to deal with them
mm.
in a caring and and in a way that matched what we should be doing, so that we couldn't be well, not criticised, but we wouldn't feel that we could have done it better. So
Yeah.
routinely, um, often the organisation is doing a lot around prevention, but they don't appreciate it. They sometimes haven't done much around postvention, and and we talk about both of those. But the focus of suicide first aid training is intervention. But we're keeping our eye on all those. And for me, if an organisation understands prevention, has got themselves geared up to postvention, which sometimes only takes half a day with the right documents, which I have
Yeah.
to people, um, and they've trained enough people in intervention, then for me, they're doing everything they can
Yeah.
on suicide. And you know what? That's a really credible thing for every organisation to do.